Hey, what's up guys, this is Astranox, 3-star free-to-play team for Wyvern 13. Let's go, baby. So in this team, the heroes that you can obtain from the hero connection are Montmorancy. You can specialty change her into Angelic Montmorancy. Alexa, you can get her from the connection as well. You can replace Angelic Montmorancy with Crozet, the 4-star knight. You can get him from the connection as well. I did a video with him already. You might want to check that out. It's my free-to-play Wyvern 13 team, and it was using him instead of Angelic Montmorancy. I do like that he has attack break on his skill 1, which gives you an extra chance to land another debuff, and attack down debuff is very powerful. We do have Mistychain on the team and Taranor Guard, which you have to pull from the gacha system, but they are only 3-star heroes, so it should happen later down the line if you still don't have them. So on this team, we have Daydream Joker 3-star artifact on Taranor Guard and on Alexa. We have Prophetic Candlestick on Angelic Montmorancy. All of these artifacts are 3 stars. The artifact on Mistychain is Syra Ren. So that artifact has a chance to land a debuff out of 5 debuffs. And the boss is immune to 2 of them. So we got the defense break to land, which is great. We got the debuffs to land from Mistychain, the unhealable and the attack down debuff. That's great. So it means that the boss is doing greatly reduced damage. You can see the second to last line, when the caster has 2 or fewer debuffs, damage dealt is greatly increased. Well, that's not happening because we have 3 debuffs. The boss, the Wyvern, will be attacking the frontliner if you have 2 debuffs or more on him. So it's important to land at least 2 debuffs. The skills, you need to have Alexa's skills turned on. You want the poison, the 2 poison effects for 2 turns to happen on skill number 2. Angelic Montmorancy, of course, her skills need to be turned on so she can heal with skill 2 and 3. 3 heals for a ton, which is great with Prophetic Candlestick. Look at it, it's happening now. Mistychain skills are turned on, of course, because you've got the debuffs on healable and attack down debuff on skill number 2. And, well, you can see the damage here. So Alexa is definitely your main damage dealer. Even Taranor Guard with Daydream Joker didn't deal that much damage, but it really depends. Like some runs, it might go the other way. The thing is, the problem is that with this team, you only have 1 defense breaker, and it's Taranor Guard. So that means he won't be able to attack the boss beside during barrier phase with defense break on the boss, because it lasts only 1 turn. So let's just show, let's go with Mistychain first, because her debuffs are very important, and you need to definitely, like, you want one of these debuffs to land at least. You want this artifact to land one of these debuffs. You got the attack down, you got the decreased hit chance, you got the poison. All 3 can land on the boss, but the silence and sleep the boss is immune to. So if that happens, the boss will be immune. So you do have self-memory imprint of critical hit chance, which is great. So it's going to be easier for her to be geared. But to be honest, like, she could be your, she's your main debuffer. You don't have to worry too much about damage on her. So her skill 1 will heal the whole team a bit. Skill number 2 is just amazing, 3-turn cooldown only. Skill number 3 heals for quite a bit more than skill number 1. So it does release some pressure off of your frontliner. You can have, like I said, Crozet in the front line. If he's on a counter set, that increases your chance to land attack down debuff out of him from his skill 1. If you do have skill ups on his skill 1, that's instead of 50% chance, it's going to be 75% chance for him to do the attack break unless it gets resisted. All your heroes that land debuffs need to have 65. You need to have 65% effectiveness. More than that is a waste. Less than that, you're reducing your chance to land your debuffs. So Mistychain, what you need to aim for is first speed after effectiveness. Effectiveness needs to reach 65%. Then you work on your speed. You don't have to worry about survival on any of your hero but Angelic Montmorancy, guys. So you don't need to worry too much about her crit chance and crit damage, critical hit damage and attack, because she's the main debuffer in your team. Okay, next one. But if you want to min-max, if you want to maximize on your damage, of course, she's going to be the last one to worry about. for the offensive stats. Alexa, your main damage dealer, Daydream Joker, deals damage based on the target's max health, which works with a critical hit, which means you need to increase your critical hit damage. You need to apply defense break, defense down on the boss. That debuff is going to scale the damage of Daydream Joker, which is huge. You don't have to worry so much about attack, more about critical hit damage. After you reach 85% critical hit chance on your ice heroes, because if they are at elemental advantage, so ice versus fire, you get a 15% critical hit chance for free, guys. So 85% crit chance is what you need to aim for her. And then of course the effectiveness, I don't even have 65% effectiveness, so I would say that 85% crit chance is your most important thing, and then it would be a decent critical hit damage number, and then effectiveness to 65, then finally speed, and lastly attack. Because I did a video in the past in Wyvern 11 with a 4-star Alexa. It was about scaling her critical hit damage as high as possible and her speed, and using Daydream Joker and turning off her skills. But in this case, in Wyvern 13, you need debuffs. That's why you need to keep her skills on, because that sweet attack can land 2 poison effects for 2 turns. That is 5% of the target's health in damage every time one of these poison effects ticks, every time it deals damage. So that is up to 20% of the boss's health if she lands both poison effects, and that is huge, guys. That is huge. So yeah, Alexa, definitely a top tier hero for any stage of Wyvern. So next one in line, we have Taranor Guard, and then we have Angelic Montmorancy. So Taranor Guard, he needs to be your fastest. He needs to be your fastest because you want him to apply defense break first on the boss, which will well, increase your damage against the boss by a ton. It will cut the defense by 70%, which is insane. So the passive with the 10% dual attack chance on top of the base 5% dual attack chance, he's at 15% dual attack chance with maxing this passive, and that is huge. When he dual attacks, he boosts the combat readiness of your whole team and including himself by 25%, which will allow you to go potentially more than once against the boss, which in turn will increase your damage by a ton, and that allows you as well to break the barrier much earlier, which can definitely it's great. He has 11.2% critical hit chance from his self-memory imprint concentration. So that means on him, you only need 74% critical hit chance, because if you do have triple S. If not, well, you go for 85% crit chance. That is the target on when you're using Ice versus Fire. That is his gear. Top priority on Taranor Guard. Since Alexa is your main damage dealer, I would say he comes second in term of damage, right? So you will be bringing his speed to the highest, right? To the highest of your damage dealers. You want him to go first. Angelic Montmorancy could be faster than Taranor Guard. That is okay. We don't care about her damage. And then it will be, the most important is the effectiveness after that. He goes first, and then 65% effectiveness. I don't even have that because I need to reforge his gear, and it will increase his effectiveness to hopefully 65. But yeah, effectiveness 65, speed, and then it will be, of course, 85% critical hit chance, as much critical hit damage as possible. But yeah, you need to worry about the effectiveness and speed first. So his gear, and then Angelic Montmorancy, you need to worry about survival on her. So a balance of health and defense. I did showcase my Angelic Montmorancy on account number 3 with 200% effect resistance, guys. So yeah, you might want to check that out. You don't need as much defense and health. If you're going to be relying on a defense buff like from Luluka, she can fully use that because she's going to resist every dispel from every attack from the fire barrage of the Wyvern. And also her combat readiness will not be reduced because she resists every time. 10% combat readiness is how much the boss reduces the frontliner's combat readiness by. And yeah, if you have 200% effect resistance, you can resist all that. So her skills, like I said, this doesn't heal that much. This heals the most. And that's her gear. I would say for her, what you need to worry about the most is a balance of defense and health. I would say that speed is, of course, very important because the more she goes, the faster she's going to be able to sustain herself. You can use 5-star Rod of Amaryllis. You know, it's a 5-star artifact. That's why I decided to use Prophetic Candlestick. So it's way more obtainable. 40% chance every time she gets attacked to reduce the cooldown of her skills by 1 turn. Can only be activated once per turn. So it will be definitely super useful. So she can use skill 3 as much as possible because it heals quite a bit more compared to skill number 2 since you don't have Rod of Amaryllis. If you're gonna build 200% effect resistance on her, if you have a defense buffer on the team, then like you could have her self-memory imprint. But in our case, it doesn't really matter. You're increasing the defense for the other teammates. It could come in handy. It doesn't apply to herself, but if let's say one of your party member gets attacked because you couldn't land 2 debuffs on the Wyvern, well, if you have attack down debuff on the boss, your damage dealer can survive, and that defense could help you even to survive better, right? Especially if you're going to be running Not Cruel Zed, since you have some healing in the group from Angelic Montmorancy and from Mistychain. Let's say you took some damage from the first wave, or when the boss does the barrier, right? He does a tail swipe against your whole group, dealing some damage. So if you want to keep your group topped off, you have a better chance with attack break to survive some damage that comes toward your damage dealer, your debuffer, Mistychain. Yeah, so anyways, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Hopefully this was helpful to you. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon for to be notified whenever I release a new video, and check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. I got a playlist of all sorts for PvE and PvP, Arena, Guild Wars guides, tips and how-tos, and the best for 62 plus, as well as best starter guides for our early to mid-game players. Join my Discord server. It's free, guys. Over 1,000 members if you want to get help or help the community. That's really it for this one. Good luck with all you do. Stay safe out there. COVID-19 is no joke. Peace out for now.